Hey, bookkeeping family. How are you guys doing today? This is Morgan Tapp with Papillon House Bookkeeping. How is my group? How is my audience? How are you guys? We're doing pretty good over here. It's hot in Florida as usual. But for those of you who might just be tuning in, my name is Morgan Tapp and I own Papillon House Bookkeeping, where I come over here and try to talk to you guys. I try to make it every week. I do my best. And I like to pop over and talk to you guys about some common problems that we may find through our clients, things that they're struggling with, that the industry is kind of struggling with when it comes to managing their business, keeping track of their books, maybe some questions, things that pop up. And we kind of like to take that time to reflect, solve the problems as best as we can, and then come over here and talk about it because no one likes to feel alone. And a lot of times, being an entrepreneur feels lonely. You know, you're at the top, you're working your butt off, you're trying to provide for everybody. And sometimes it's like, what am I supposed to do? Right? And so I don't know, this is just my way of, I don't know, I don't want to say giving back because I'm not giving you guys anything, but just take my time to help. I don't know. I just want to help people. And if I can make you guys feel like you're not alone and it's not impossible and you can be successful, well, then I feel better. So, and I want to make it so that bookkeeping is not arduous and not boring and not dry. So I act like an idiot and I try to be as real and authentic. I mean, I'm definitely authentic. If and you can ask any of the clients that I have, this is 100%. You can ask our staff. Yeah, I mean, if the purple hair didn't give it away, what you see is what you get, guys. This is my little slice of internet heaven, and I exploit it to its fullest. All right, so today I want to talk to you guys about money, about profits, because let's be honest, sometimes we bust our butt. We do all the things we're supposed to do. We do our bookkeeping, we file our taxes, we pay all the licenses, we keep everything up to date, and we're like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I've got the perfect marketing, I've got the greatest team, everything's fantastic, and I'm not as profitable as I want to be. Well, yeah, it stinks, right? And we're going to talk about it. So let's dive in. What are some of the reasons why you could potentially not be making as much in profits? Keyword is profits. I'm not talking about your gross. I'm not talking about revenue. I'm talking about profits. Gross revenue is a completely different conversation. Okay. That is like marketing and product development and services and HR. That is a whole different thing. I'm talking about profits. Okay. Stay with me here. Profits, not gross, not revenue. All right. I needed to clear that up. I didn't want any blasts in the comments about how I wasn't talking about the right thing. Profits. So let's talk about why some of the reasons you could potentially not be making as much in profits as you want to be. All right. So first thing, let's just bust this savings myth like right out of the water. Okay. You think, I'm going to do my own books and I'm going to save money because I know what I'm doing and it's going to be great. It's not great. Okay. While self-managing your books may seem cost-effective initially, beneath the surface, there's a whole new narrative that comes about, okay? DIY bookkeeping can lead to miscategorized transactions, not well informed. Oh, I'm saying that terribly. Like about the rules, okay? You're not being well informed with regard to the rules of bookkeeping in general, not to mention your industry, not to mention taxes, okay? I work with a lot of attorneys, right? Check it out. I work with a lot of architects, attorneys, GCs, and then small businesses because I'm not going to turn anyone away. But We specialize in attorneys and architects. Guys, I just had a client who has been doing their own books, and in their trust account, the bank took out a wire fee. They missed it. They missed it. It was for a previous tax year. They came to us for a cleanup. We're trying to do our three-way reconciliations, and we're like, "Hey guys, where's that where's that wire fee?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we're just waiting for, I thought the bank handled it because it's an IOLTA account." And we're like, "No." And I can't make a journal entry. That's what happens when you do DIY books. Now I have to bring the trust account up. Okay, we're not going to go into how I fixed the problem. We're just going to talk about the fact that the problem existed. And then that's what happens when you do your DIY books. Because you guys are fantastic and awesome, but you have a lot of things that you're doing all day, every day. Okay, I can give you another example that kind of relates to my architects. Um, I had a different client who was doing their own books, and they had third-party accounting software, and they thought it was syncing to QuickBooks, and it was not. And so they're sending invoices, and based off of the numbers that they have in the books, and the invoices are incorrect, and it was a giant disaster. And luckily their clients were really sweet about it, but it could have made it look like they were trying to pull a fast one. And they came to us and they're like, "I don't even understand what's happening." And all we had to do was go in and sync the softwares properly and then go back and clean it all up. And yeah, that took hours, hours and hours and hours, because they'd been a long-standing company and they didn't realize this was a problem because it was a very small problem that had very big results. So DIY is not the best when it comes to managing your books. So if you think you're doing everything correctly, you're trying to do your own bookkeeping, and you've got, accounting software, you've got job costing software, you've got like CRMs and software to like keep the clients managed, Clio for my attorneys, a lot of my architects and stuff, they use Core or like Jobber or whatever. Again, I do not promote companies. If you guys want to talk softwares, I have a bunch, but I don't want to talk about it here. But it doesn't save you money in the long run because you are wearing too many hats. That's the honest to God's truth. I wear two hats: business owner, but my entire company is bookkeeping. Okay. This is all we do. This is all we do every day, all day. All of my staff and myself, we're all about the numbers. So, opportunity. Let's talk about that. If you are channeling hours of your time into financial management, that is time that is diverted away from your core expertise. So that means billable hours for my attorneys. That means design for my architects. Okay. That means a lot of times sales and project management for my GCs. This is not, what do they call it, your zone of genius? I love all these new catchphrases. This is not what you were made to do. You were made to be what your business is, right? So if you're doing all of these other things, you may be saving yourself a few $100s a month, but you're costing yourself so much more because your time is worth more money than the money you would be spending on professional bookkeeping. Does that make any sense at all? Let's pretend your time is $300 an hour. Again, that resonates a lot with my attorneys because a lot of them bill at $300 or $350 an hour. So 4 hours of your time is more than what you will probably pay for my services. And you spend more than 4 hours doing your own books. Just want that to sink in. You are losing money doing it yourself because you could make more money doing what you do best and then paying me to do what I do best. So the net profit of the company goes up. Does that make sense? That's why. Okay. The power of financial expertise. Let's talk about this. I don't want to toot my horn, but I'm pretty good at my job. And my staff is amazing. I have our company, we have over 30 years of experience in this field, doing exactly what you need from us every single day. Every day. So we have seen 90% of any problem you can bring us more than once, which means we can solve it like that. Which also means when we dive into your reports and your numbers and your trends and your patterns, we can bring you data that you probably haven't considered because we do it all the time, right? Just like you do your discovery all the time. So you are so used to finding those patterns in the cases because you've seen the cases before. It's like easy for you. The same with my architects. You guys have seen the problems in design or the problems in construction. My true story, personal story, my house is falling apart. Not literally because we caught it in time, but I was going to do a balcony addition. We're remodeling and adding a better office. And when we opened up the stucco, water damage. The whole beam is rotten. My architect said if I waited a few more years, my bedroom would have like fallen into the back porch. And my architect and the engineer came out and they looked at it in about 10 minutes and they made some notes, gave me a few reports, said, hey, we don't even have to redraw the plans because we've seen this so many times. It's not that big of a deal. We're just going to make a couple notes. We're going to give your GC. My GC is phenomenal. He's seen it 1,000 times. They just kind of communicated. The whole problem was solved in 10 minutes. I'm over here freaking out because to me, I'm like imagining myself sleeping and just kind of falling. And they're like, no, we got you. We got you. 10 minutes. They had the whole thing solved. It's been all week construction and they're like already almost done with the fix, not the remodel. They're like back to ground zero where now they can start the remodel because they're experts. They're experts in their field. So they've already seen the problems. They gave me a solution. They worked on the solution and like we're off to the races. It's the same thing over here. We do this every day. So when you hire a professional, you get professional expertise along with it. And if you don't have that and you're doing it yourself, that could be a reason why you're not seeing as much profitability as you wanted. It could be something as simple as a data entry error, or it could be something like we talked about before, like your time is being mismanaged because it could be better spent elsewhere. And I don't just mean bookkeeping, okay? I have attorneys that want to do it all by themselves with like their one paralegal and they really need like an office assistant and another attorney and probably another paralegal. And they're not making nearly as much money in profits as they could be because they're doing everything themselves. And I love these clients, but it's true. They could be going from a $500,000 law firm to $1 million law firm if they would just stop trying to do everything themselves, hire a few more people, and spread the workload. Because their phone rings and they have to turn away clients. Crazy, right? But it's true. Happens all the time. So, when you do things all by yourself, you potentially lose in profits. DIY bookkeeping appears cost effective, but it can backfire. You can miss deductions for taxes. You can miss strategies because you don't have somebody who specializes in it to help you out. When you hire and you outsource, you get data-driven results amplified. You harness the expertise of the professional that you have added to your team. And of course, I mean bookkeeping, but that is not exclusive to a professional bookkeeper. I'm talking about, like I said before, attorneys that might need another paralegal, I have GCs where if they would just hire a few more people in their crew, their jobs would get done faster and they could take on more jobs. Same with my architects and their subcontractors. Sometimes we need help, and the reason why we're not actually making as much money in profits as we wanted is because we aren't willing to take on that help. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Sometimes that stuff can just be a game changer. Adding one person to your team can make all the difference in the world. Getting some help, getting you to just not feel completely alone, like you're wearing all the hats. Managing your bookkeeping as an attorney or an architect presents a multifaceted challenge. You excel in your field. Equal expertise is needed for the financial aspect of your company. That's where we come into play. I feel a little rambly today. I'm sorry. I hope that I have been helpful. If you guys have any questions, I would be happy to talk more. If you want to share some of your experiences, I would be happy to listen. You can comment below. You can reach out to us, papillon.house. Email me. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me, morgan@papillon.house. I try to make it pretty easy. Those of you who tune in pretty regularly, I'm super easy to get a hold of. We're everywhere. Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm starting out that TikTok thing. Don't judge me. It's a work in progress. But I hope that you have found our little slice of internet heaven to be helpful. That's at the end of the day, that's all we ever want, is we just want to help people. But anyways, so till next week. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.